A Byzantine historian, to be precise and to be correct historically. Theophanes writes that when the Persians came, the Jews from Babylon came with them, and the Christians of Jerusalem and the land of Greater Syria accused the Jewish people of instigating a massacre in Jerusalem. I mean, they were accusing. This is what the Christian historians wrote at the time. And because of that, the Christians of Greater Syria felt very, very bitter towards the Jewish people, right? So what happened after the Byzantines came to power? They defeated the Persians and they took the land of Egypt back, and then they took Greater Syria back from the Persians. The Christians were very, very hostile to the Jewish people. Why? Because they accused the Jewish people directly of instigating the massacre of the Christians in Jerusalem after the Persian conquest.
What did Omar do when he went to Jerusalem?
And then Omar, then what happens when Omar comes back to the city of Jerusalem? What he does, he sees a pile of rubbish at the site of the Temple of Solomon, right? And why were the Christians doing that? They were piling up all their rubbish and the filth on the site to humiliate the Jewish people. This is what they were doing. So Omar had lost the site. He didn't know where the site is. So some Jewish rabbis were actually invited to come and help Omar identify the site. The site was identified. Omar cleaned the site personally with his own hands, with other Muslims of course, and then it was cleansed, it was washed, and the temple was resurrected again, and it was called Masjid Omar. Therefore the name Masjid Omar, because that was the masjid built at that time. So the Jewish people,
they were allowed back in to do pilgrimage.
and amazingly, what people don't understand and know, there is something very important, an important fact the Jewish people are not probably aware of. What is that? When Omar struck a treaty with Patriarch Sophronius, Sophronius was the Byzantine Patriarch of the city of Jerusalem, and it was called Elia at the time. It wasn't called Jerusalem, Elia, named after Hadrian, right? Sophronius specifically requested a clause in the treaty. Sophronius specifically requested a clause in the treaty, and the treaty has been documented by Imam Tabari. It is in the history of Imam Tabari. The text of the treaty is there. There were 4 witnesses, and it was signed on in 15 Hijri, the year 15, right? One of the clauses is no Jew will be allowed in the city of Jerusalem. I repeat, the clause was no Jew would be allowed in the city of Jerusalem. And at the time, Omar accepted the treaty, but later on when the Byzantines lost all the territory of Syria, then the treaty was changed, it was revised, and the Jewish people were relocated, rehoused, re-entered into the city of Jerusalem after a banishment of 500 years. The Jews were not allowed in the city of Jerusalem on pain of death. Okay, from the Jewish revolt of 132 CE, Bar Kokhba, it's called the revolt of Bar Kokhba. From that period up to the Muslim conquest, the Jewish people were not allowed to enter the city of Jerusalem on pain of death. That's why the Jewish people came back with the Persians. Whatever happened, it happened. But the point here is, it were the Muslims who opened the Temple of Solomon for the Jewish people after a banishment of 500 years.
Do you know there's some Christian accounts of the time? They thought the Arabs were Jews because of the respect they gave for the Temple Mount and everything you've expected.
Right.
Some of them right at the beginning got a bit confused. I thought, are these Jewish conspirators like before?
Right. And you see, what my friends like Joseph and others have done for a long time, they focus very much on those unpleasant events or incidents in the Muslim history of 1,000 years. In 1,000 years, there might be an event here and there, and you magnify it. You make it look so big that it looks like the representative example. But in reality, the Jewish history under the domain of Islam, it is not only fascinating, it is very much appreciated by Jewish historians themselves. They have clarified that our condition under the domain of Islam was far better than what it was under the Christian rulers or Christendom. So that's why I keep talking about this, that our Zionist friends and our Jewish friends who are not Zionists, they get to know the true history of Islam and Jews. The Jewish people and Muslims, they coexisted for over 1,000 years. And the Jewish people were always in a minority. If the Muslims wanted to, God forbid, wipe them out or persecute them or forcefully convert them. Muslims could have done that. Muslims had the Ottoman armies, you know about them. Ottomans ruled from Morocco to all the way Iraq. Okay, the Ayyubids, and then of course there were periods of persecution, but they were limited. They were limited in time and scope. They were limited, and they had, of course, regional circumstances that actually caused those things to happen. But the wider picture, the overwhelming reality of the Muslim relationship with the Jews is positive. It was protection for the Jewish people. The Jewish people flourished, and today when the Zionists claim a very, very bad experience of the Jewish people under Islam, this is purely political propaganda. It has no reality in history because, sorry,
Here, meaning yes, I agree.
yeah. So there is an author called Dean Philip Bell, who is a historian, and he has written on Jewish history.
I know the guy.
Dean Philip Bell is a scholar of Jewish history. He has stated this.
Jewish.
I don't know if he's Jewish.
Could just
Yeah, but he's a historian. He's a historian who's not a Muslim, who's not a Jew. He wrote that it was only after the creation of the State of Israel when this peaceful coexistence between the Jewish and the Muslim people was questioned by some historians. Before that, this relationship was never questioned. Okay, so the Zionist scholars later on, they created a narrative whereby they were claiming that, oh, it wasn't all that nice, it wasn't a utopia, it wasn't My Little Pony Land, it wasn't like that. It was far more complicated than Muslims claim. But we don't claim anything. We don't even claim anything. It is the non-Muslim historians who have written in the 19th century and the 20th century, and they still continue to write today. They are the ones who are clarifying that Jewish experience under Islam was a positive one. Yeah. So I might have to leave very soon, Joseph. I'm sorry. It was a monologue. At least I have a Jewish friend standing right next to me when I'm talking about these things, and he's not controverting this. That means silence is consent, right, everyone? Yeah.
Or manners. Or manners. Or waiting for my turn to speak. But what I would say before you go.
Yeah.
You said something which isn't true. You said I always put the spotlight on all the bad times, and it's not what I've said.
Please do correct me.
What I've said repeatedly, there were caliphates where the Jews, although they were under the Muslims, they fared better than they did in Christendom, and they fared better than they did elsewhere. But there were other caliphates which we've agreed, which were incredibly barbaric and slaughtered tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands.
But why
of
talk
Jews.
about them? They are very.
Because
These are very limited. No, there were never hundreds of thousands.
That's an exaggeration.
Because
That's what I meant.
Hundreds of thousands.
Oh, it happened. In 1066, I'll tell you. In 1066, there was a massacre of the Jewish people in Granada. 1066 CE. And that was, again, regionally limited. It wasn't widespread throughout the Iberian Peninsula. You know, Muslims ruled the Iberian Peninsula with an iron fist when they were in power, right? This was regional. This was isolated. This was a very limited event, and which had circumstances and context to it. What Joseph tries to do sometimes is he tries to paint them as or maybe bigger than they are, maybe more important than they were. But I am saying, why would you, like, there is a tree, I gave another example the other day. There's a tree, it has beautiful fruit on it, right? But there are 2 or 3 rotten branches, right? So what you do is you magnify the rotten branches and you ignore the tree. I am asking you, Joseph, to look at the tree and the beautiful fruit on it, that fruit of peaceful, lovely coexistence between the Jews and the Christians, and the flourishing of the Jewish people as theologians, as businessmen, as social contributors, then magnifying the rotten branches. So there are rotten branches, there is rotten fruit, no doubt, no one is denying that. But let's not magnify that. Magnify the tree.
What I'm saying is, from the beginning, from Islamic sources and from Jewish sources, there are instances where the Jews have been persecuted by prominent caliphs from the Prophet of Islam. You would argue they weren't persecuted, but you spoke for a long time.
Name the caliphs.
So So Umar removed the
Did
Jews
not-
from, he
did not
removed the Jews
persecute.
from- I listen to you.
Omar is the one who allowed them in.
I literally sat and listened to you for
Sure.
10 minutes, and please do me the same courtesy. I respect your wisdom, respect my lack of wisdom.
Okay, Omar, let's take it. Omar, the list. I want the list of caliphs.
Can I give my examples?
Yeah.
I didn't demand how you answer. I let you speak in the way that you wanted to speak.
But then
and I
why
listened
would
to
you?
my-
Why would you not give me a list of caliphs?
Adnan, literally, you spoke for 15 minutes. You came here, you said, I've got 9 minutes. Then you said, please give me the courtesy of answering my way. So, from Muhammad to Umar. So, I can't speak for Abu Bakr because I don't know what Abu Bakr did, but let's go to Umar. So, with Umar, what he did, he removed it. This is really interesting. When Umar removed the Jews from Arabia, he sent them to 2 places. He sent, I think, them to Kufa in Iraq, which was a garrison city on the frontier of the new emerging Islamic empire, and he sent another group of Jews to Jericho in Israel. So it's really interesting.
In Palestine, you mean?
Well, you call it Palestine because you take
No problem. Okay.
you take the Roman name, and if you want to take the Roman name,
Joseph,
that's fine.
no. Wait.
It was never
Wait,
called
I'm
Israel.
claiming. I'm claiming a peaceful coexistence
Adnan,
between
can I
the
just-
Jews and the Christians, Jews and the Muslims for 1,000 years. I want you to now, before you mention,
Adnan,
Joseph,
I
before you
didn't
mention
make the
details,
answer.
because I don't have much time.
I
I
know you
want to
can,
make
but
this
I think-
fruitful. Before you mention details, which we will get to, mention the names of the caliphs who oppressed the Jewish people
I was-
for 1,000 years. Give me big names,
But
big
you-
names.
You're now saying
Big names.
You're literally.
You said Prophet,
Okay,
Omar.
Adnan.
Yeah.
When did I say that the caliphs have oppressed Jews for 1,000 years? When did that come out? Of
No,
my
no,
mouth?
you're saying that
No,
big.
that's what you said. You said that I've said that.
So-
When did I
so-
say that?
so-
Hundreds of thousands were killed.
No, by the Almohad.
Population
The
of the Israelites back
Almohad.
then.
By the Almohad.
Hundreds of thousands.
By the Almohad.
Hundreds of thousands.
There was a
In
very large.
In Morocco, 1956, the population of Moroccan Jews was 250,000.
And how much is it today? How much is it today?
Let alone what it was 1,000
How
years
many is it
ago.
No,
today?
but
How
are you
many is it
are you
today?
doing this deliberately? Do you not know what happened in 1948? You're asking him what is it today? Why would the Jewish people stay in Morocco
Guys,
when they have
guys,
Israel?
if this is
When
a
they have Israel to
dialogue,
move
if
to.
this is a dialogue, I have to be able to speak.
My
Otherwise, it's just-
phone's continuously ringing.
no.
I think I engaged in this conversation at the
Okay,
wrong time.
The audience
right?
can judge for themselves.
Okay.
Adnan. Like,
Yeah, I'm running away. Do you think?
I think you dominated the
He
conversation.
said before, Adnan run away, this one run away, this one run
I mean, he
Yeah,
did
it
run
was-
away last week. The last time.
Last time I ran away.
Yeah, you did run away, Adnan.
Basically, what
Literally
he
all the
says,
comments.
10 minutes of conversation, him to respond back. He was quiet for 10
I-
minutes.
I-
Your phone
I-
was ringing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was ringing the whole time, not in now.
I am asking for a fair conversation.
No,
How do we do
you-
that? He
let
said
10 minutes and
caliphs.
go back.
He said caliphs killed the Jewish people. I want names. Before we get to details, because he's going to waste our time.
said
He's going to. What Joseph?
You keep putting words in my mouth. I said oppressed.
Okay. Name the caliphs for 1,000 years. Give me big names. Name big name.
You just pulled a number, 1,000 years.
Okay,
I didn't say that.
I'm interested in the tree, not the rotten branch. So let's talk about
But
the
I
tree.
literally-
So
Okay, stop. Let me speak. If
Names.
Adnan, let me speak.
Yeah.
Stop dictating how
Yeah,
I talk.
yeah, sure.
I'm not straw manning you. I'm not.
Sure. No.
Adnan.
I'm
let me
doing it
speak.
for a reason. Because what's going to happen is
Adnan.
Joseph is going to leap centuries. He's going to leap centuries. That's why I'm getting to this
Adnan,
point.
I'm literally talking about Omar. That's the.
You're giving details before we get to details.
What
Okay.
was that, sir?
He said, go and pray.
Go and pray. Oh, that's all right, that's okay.
Joseph.
I agree.
Can I quickly make a statement? Can I quickly ask a very simple question? Before we get into details of what Omar and what Prophet and what others did, can you please give me a short list of individuals, caliphs, who were responsible for persecuting or oppressing the Jewish people?
I just
List.
gave you the Almohads. I gave you Omar. I gave you Muhammad.
Okay, good. Stop there.
Adnan, please.
Wait, stop.
Adnan,
Wait,
can
one
I
second.
speak,
One second.
or is it just the Adnan
One
show?
second.
Is it
No,
the
it's
Adnan
not.
show? Do you
Let
like your voice that much that you don't let
let's
someone else
have a
speak?
conversation.
No, Adnan,
So you
I
jump
didn't-
for Omar to
Adnan,
Al-Mahad,
I-
right?
Adnan,
Everyone?
400
He
years.
no, more than that. More Al-Mahad came 600, nearly 600 years. Omar was alive in 636, 637, right? So Al-Mahad came in 1200s. 600 years. So what Joseph did, and why am I asking for a list? To expose this approach.
So let
the
me-
approach I already highlighted when Joseph decided to come in. I said Joseph likes to focus on the rotten, branches rather than tree. Why?
Adnan,
Because
are you gonna
he's
let me
leaping
speak?
centuries. He's taking leaps of centuries, 600 years,
Adnan.
and now he's gone to Wikipedia again.
No, it's sources I put together.
Okay, so
From
name
Bukhari,
of the caliph. Name of the caliphs.
So
So you said Umar, Prophet, Al-Muhad, and who else?
Adnan, can I please respond in my own way? Because it's not. the
Listen,
Adnan
I don't
show.
have time for your details because I'm
That's fine,
trying to.
That's fine. If you don't have time, go away, and I'll speak to the camera.
Okay.
But I want
no
to speak in
problem.
my own words.
Okay, so I think we should finish in about 2 minutes. To be fair, so that you can have a response.
So you
can
speak
you give
for 15 minutes.
Can
and
you
I
give a
get
list of rulers who oppressed the Jewish people?
So what Adnan's doing, he's trying to frame the debate. He's not allowing someone to respond in their own words. He wants to frame.
I
the
don't
debate
want
in
to
a way-
waste time.
That's fine.
Can you give me a list? At least you
Adnan,
might
did I
have a.
interrupt you once? Did I
look,
interrupt you once?
Okay, if you
Did I
ask-
dictate how you answer?
I think it's probably fair to listen to him. Just listen to what he's saying.
what he's I know what he's doing. He is going to give details for
Adnan,
one
why are you
incident,
so
kill
afraid to let me speak?
10 minutes of our time.
Why are
He
you-
knows I don't have time, so he's gonna go on for 10 minutes talking about one incident, and I'm gonna rebut
the
it.
viewers
I'm gonna
can judge
refute
themselves.
him. I'm gonna refute him in my belief successfully, and then it's gonna kill. So before he does that, before he goes into the details, I want a list of persecutions and oppressions is what he wants to talk about. So let's see. So give me a list of oppressions you want to highlight very quickly. You said Prophet Muhammad oppressed the Jewish people. Okay. Umar oppressed the Jewish people. Okay. Then you jump to Almohads 6 centuries later. My question is, what happened for those 600 years? What happened to the Jewish people? This is how you get exposed. That's why I'm saying you are focusing on the rotten branch and the rotten fruit, not the tree. You're missing the forest for the tree.
Why are you
You're
so-
missing the forest for the tree.
Adnan, why are you so afraid to let me speak?
I will let you speak, but can you give me the name of the oppressions?
Not dictate the conversation.
That's your question.
Why are you allowed to? Why are you afraid to let me speak?
Okay, then you're gonna spend 10 minutes to give details of a point I will easily refute, and then it will waste all our time. I'm saying, give me the names of the persecutors and the oppressors of the Jewish people
You're
from the
literally-
Muslim history.
You're literally came into a conversation. You weren't here. We were having a conversation.
Let me answer the question and explain. Answer the question and explain.
Yeah, go on.
Answer the question that he asked you, and then explain the
No,
point.
that's not how it works.
Yes, a direct question.
He spoke. I politely listened.
It's a
Then
dogmatic
I
question.
get to speak. Then I get to
Dogmatic
speak.
question,
and he
dogmatic
tries to
answer.
dominate.
Coming right now. Assalamu alaikum. Hello? Hello? Assalamu alaikum. Coming right now. Still in the park, leaving right now. Okay, assalamu alaikum. Huh? I am. Hey. I am. Where is he? Where is Ali?
I don't have the list. I don't know.
I am still. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
So Adnan, what I was trying to say was and I can give you examples from throughout Islamic history
Answer the
of what.
question.
Just carry on.
So Joseph, again, the reason why
Adnan,
this is
Adnan,
so
are you-
painful, because you're doing exactly what I said, and then you're going to waste our time for 1 hour going around the world, and the point will be still the same. You want to magnify the rotten fruit,
Adnan,
not the tree.
Adnan,
And
the
why
viewers
am I
can
saying
make their
that?
own mind up. The viewers can make their own mind up. I respectfully listen to you speak for 10 minutes. The minute I open my mouth, you try to dictate and dominate the conversation.
Okay, go on.
And force me to answer
Go
in your
on.
way.
So that you don't have this this.
So
Yeah.
what I was trying to say, what I was trying to say, when you cut me off, was that if Israel behaved in the way that Omar did, people would call Israel an oppressor. People would accuse Israel of ethnic cleansing. If Israel turned around tomorrow and said that in the land of Israel, no two religions can coexist, and Israel ethnically cleansed the 2 million Arabs that live there today because they are of the wrong faith, we would oh my God.
Let him finish. I want him to finish. I want him to make these claims so that we can actually show people what I was saying earlier is correct. Yes, continue, please. Finish what you're saying about Omar. If Israel did that, Omar would be accused of Israel would be accused of mass
Israel
murder.
would be not mass. Again, you're straw man.
Or you used another word.
Ethnic cleansing.
Ethnic cleansing. And we're going to see
I'm not
how
saying-
Omar ethnically cleansed the Jewish people. We will see.
So the Jews
Yeah.
lived in the Arabian Peninsula before the advent of Islam. There's not one Muslim that would deny that. Before
Yes.
Islam came along, there were Jews
True,
living there.
true.
Islam came along and Jews no longer live there. Now, different reasons are given for that. You will say that some Jews violated the treaties, other Jews didn't. Other Jews actually fought with Muhammad. Other Jews were companions of Muhammad. They were Sahaba and they didn't convert to Islam. Yet all Jews were removed. Yes.
Not the Yemen.
No, let him finish. Let him
I didn't
finish.
say
I will
Yemenite
respond to
Jews.
him. I will respond to him.
So Yemen is outside of the Hijaz. That's
No, no,
why-
let him finish so that he doesn't have any complaints later on. He doesn't have any reasons to say that we were not dealing with the question. Continue,
So,
please.
so the Jews were removed to two areas. One was, as I said before, Jericho in Israel, and the other was in Iraq. I think the Kufa. I think it's the name of the city. Is that Kufa? Kufa.
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 Thank you. Which was a garrison city. And so here we have the first example. Like every Muslim thinks that Muhammad is the perfect example to follow.
Yes,
And Umar is a good example to follow. He is
absolutely.
one of the good caliphs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And here we have Umar, who first and foremost removed the Jews. Now, Commander, what was like living as a Jew under these different caliphs? So I'll give you an example. This is a quote.
Okay. Wait. Before you move on, can I respond? No. Can I respond to all the points about Omar? Because no. Because what Joseph is going to do? He's going to do shotgun tactics. And how does that work in a debate? Shotgun tactic is when you throw 50 questions at your interlocutor and expect him to respond in 3 minutes. So let me deal with
But
Omar
did you not
question
just do
first.
that for 10
No.
minutes? What did you speak about for 10
Wait.
minutes
Now
after?
Omar, sorry. Now, so my point still stands. What Joseph is doing, and I don't blame him. Joseph is a Zionist. Okay, Zionists are agenda driven. They have to talk like this. They cannot objectively accept history as it is. If they do, they wouldn't be Zionists. They wouldn't be oppressing the Palestinian people. They wouldn't be doing what they're doing in Palestine today. So Joseph is a Zionist. He has to have this view on history. Okay, now let me explain how. Let me explain how. Okay. Now moving on from ad hominems. Moving on from ad hominems, I am going to now show why his view of history is completely misplaced. We have already shown that there were Jewish tribes in Arabia the Prophet had treaties with and the Prophet had wars with. Those who were in war, they attacked the Prophet. They attacked the Prophet unprovoked. The Prophet did not provoke them, rather the Prophet wanted peaceful relationships with them. But those Jewish tribes that were fought by the Prophet, they actually conspired against the Prophet to kill him and his entire community. Examples, Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa and Banu Nadir. And then Khaybar. So there were other peaceful Jewish tribes. The names of those Jewish tribes are mentioned in the Treaty of Medina, and the text can be found in the history of Ibn Ishaq. I'm giving references so that people don't think I'm making things up, right? Those tribes were unmolested, untouched, peacefully living. Then it is clear that some tribes were hostile. They were spreading hostility. And Umar, after he was stabbed, right? And when the situation became a bit difficult to sustain because Muslims were engaging in conquest in Persia, as well as with the Romans, the Byzantines. So it was but natural for them to secure the headquarters, the Hijaz region. So that's why, just like what happened in many other places, like what Israel is doing today in Palestine, what Israel is doing in Palestine, right? So for strategic reason, if you want to remove a people you don't feel safe from, you can move them. You can move them into other regions against their wishes, no doubt. Joseph is right that they were probably not happy, the Jewish people moving out of Arabia. But looking at the situation at the time, the dynamics, it was clear that they were not being ethnically cleansed as Joseph claimed. He used the word ethnic cleansing. They were not being ethnically cleansed. They were being relocated. Okay, because ethnic cleansing is what happened in Bosnia. What happened in Germany? What happened in Germany against the Jewish people? Even Myanmar. Okay. Wait. Please. That's okay. Wait. The terms Joseph used are very twisted, and
Exile.
exile would have been maybe an acceptable word, okay? But Joseph, exile and ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
The difference is
cleansing is
the
bad.
ethnic cleansing in when you ethnically cleanse by killing people.
No, that's genocide. Ethnic cleanse is when you remove them.
Okay.
remove them, you don't give them hands, you just send them, like, to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's
So
called ethnic
so
cleansing.
would
That's
you
the
say
definition of
would you
ethnic
say
cleansing.
would you say this is ethnic cleansing, allowing Jewish people to enter Palestine against the wishes of the majority Christian populace, where the Jewish people wanted to be in the first place? That's the Zion. That's the Zion. They want to be there. They want to. I mean,
respond?
it's like moving Muslims from a place like Britain to Mecca. It's like moving. So would Muslims be happy to go to Mecca, or they would be sad?
Can I
So
respond?
wait,
You're
I'm
asking me a
finishing.
question, that's why.
I'm finishing.
Okay,
I'm finishing. So Omar did not ethnically cleanse the Jewish people. The Jewish people were not persecuted by Omar or by the Prophet. Joseph is misrepresenting the history of Islam and deliberately twisting facts, right? Deliberately. I'm saying deliberately because he's an intelligent man. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. That's why, hence, to my earlier point, show me the names of people who persecuted the Jewish people or oppressed them. Joseph jumps from Omar to Al-Mahud 6 centuries later. Why? Why? Because again, he is magnifying the rotten fruit. I mean, if it is rotten.
I'm not saying-
In the case
you're
of
saying
Omar and
it's
Prophet, it
rotten.
wasn't rotten.
That's
In the
your
case
words,
of
not mine.
in the case of Omar and Prophet, it was not. Al-Muhajj, definitely, he has a point. Al-Muhajj did persecute.
What was the reason?
Wait, no, forget the reasons. We don't agree with that. Okay, Al-Muhajj did persecute, right? They did persecute. There were other places where Jewish people were persecuted temporarily and in a limited way. Yeah,
So
yeah.
can I
So,
just- I'm just
so
gonna
now
reply.
I have to go. My family's waiting. My phone's ringing. So you can take the mic and
Okay.
you can go
I'll
on to
just-
your. Unless, brother, you want to take over?
Okay, I'm just gonna finish. So any of the Muslims can respond to this. So no. Let me Aki, wait your turn. Wait your turn. I'm on the microphone. Wait your turn. It doesn't matter. Wait your turn. You're not the Prophet of Islam. Wait your turn. You're not the Nasi. You're not the Prince. You're not the Amir. Wait your turn. So I'm just going to respond, and then you can have your turn. So he said, Adnan said that it is an ethnic cleansing. So what is to cleanse something? To cleanse, the term comes from purifying. It's a horrible expression which is based on religion and creed. It's based on ethnic. It came from Serbia. It came from the conflict there. So I'm going to read out some of the hadith, and you tell me if this sounds like removing a population based on their religion, on their creed. So this is so let's go to Bukhari first, and I'll have to zoom in a bit. I'll just clip this and then I'll.
What's the gradation?
You just mentioned like it's right.
So here we go.
Everyone will be annoyed. I mean,
So here we go. Narrated by Umar. Narrated by Ibn Umar bin al-Khattab. This is Bukhari and Sahih. Umar bin al-Khattab expelled all the Jews and the Christians from the land of the Hijaz. Allah's apostle, after conquering Khaybar, thought of expelling the Jews from the land, which after he conquered it belonged to Allah. Allah's apostle and the Muslims, but the Jews requested Allah's apostle to leave them there on the condition that they would do the labor and get half of the fruits. Half of the produce that the Jews would create, they would give to the Muslims, and for that they would be allowed to live there for as long as, and it goes on to say, we shall keep you on these terms as long as we wish. As long as the Caliph wishes, or the Muslims wish, for the Jews to live there, they can live there. Umar's caliphate, when he expelled them to, Umar then expelled them to Taima and Ariha. Ariha is Jericho. Another, this 2 minute timer. Thank you. I'm going to go through a few hadith and then we can talk them. 2 minutes. They're all related. All the hadith are related. So then you've got Al-Tamidi. So Umar bin al-Khattab narrated that the Messenger of Allah said that if I live, if Allah wills it, I will expel the Jews and the Christians from the Arabian Peninsula.
Which slow? You're reading lies.
So
You're adding the words into it.
So this is Jami at-Tamidri, 1606.
Is it authentic or not?
It's Sahih. It's authentic.
Oh, you know it's authentic.
It's authentic, yeah.
Oh, you know, what's the greatest?
Because it says that on the hadith.
What's the greatest?
Next one. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. Umar bin al-Khattab informed me that he heard the messenger of Allah say, I will expel the Jews and the Christians from the Arabian Peninsula, and I will not leave anyone in it except a Muslim.
Number one, he
Final hadith, and then we can all respond.
Number two, he gives the holy land of the Canaan exclusive to the Jews.
Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Can you go away? Narrated Abu Hurairah. While we were in the mosque, the Prophet came.
That's after him. After him.
You adding words, brother. You're not reading the right thing. I know this is a lie. I have to look carefully.
Narrated by Abu Hurairah. While we were in the mosque, the Prophet came out and said,
The Torah claims, number one, he excludes
He's skipping
Ishmael.
let us go to the Jews. We went out till we reached the Beit al-Midrash, which is interesting. The Beit al-Midrash, we would say the Beit al-Midrash. It says it's literally saying Hebrew words. It's literally saying, it said to them, if you embrace Islam, you will be safe. You should know that.
Does your racist Torah exclude Ishmael from the covenant?
Go away.
Does your Torah exclude Ishmael
If
from
you
the covenant?
embrace
You don't want to
Islam,
talk about
you
that,
will
do
be
you?
safe.
You don't want to
Why
talk
are
about
you?
What is he reading right now?
Abu Hurairah.
So what is the point?
Torah is
So-
The point is what?
Sahih al-Bukhari. It's what we're saying. I'm responding to your ethnic cleansing comment.
So you're saying the Muslims were taught. The Muslims are taught to have a policy.
Can I just finish?
Jewish people, right?
This is what happens. You know, the Jews listen patiently. The Jews listen patiently to what the Muslims have to say. Look at what happens. Look at the chaos when a Jew tries to speak. Look at them try to shut down the Jews.
Let him continue. I don't want him to have this excuse. Please, I don't want. Let him speak. Let him spill his.
I'm only watching because it's changing the words. It's not
Whatever,
really perfect.
and we can easily refute it. Our history with the Jewish people is very clear for those who are sincere and those who want to see. Spin doctors are not going to distort the history. No problem. Continue.
Okay, so Adnan, just for your benefit, because you came late, I was saying the term ethnic cleansing is related to purifying. It's related. It's a horrible term. It comes from the Serbian.
So the point you're making is that Muslims have a policy of ethnic cleansing of the Jewish people.
I'm saying the Jews were ethnically cleansed from the Arabian Peninsula.
Okay.
And I'm then bringing.
Let's assume. I want to save time. Look, let's assume it's true. Let's assume it's true. What happened for 1,000 years? Why didn't the Muslim ethnically cleanse the Jews from Spain? From Spain, from Morocco, from Tunisia, from Libya, from Egypt, from the Middle East, from Iraq? The greatest academy of the Jews in the world was in Babylon, Iraq, okay?
But that was before Islam.
The second greatest.
That was before. I mean, it survived, but it was before Islam.
Okay, wait.
The greatest academies in Iraq was pre-Islam.
Okay, wait.
It's when the Talmud and the Mishnah was compiled.
I'll respond to that. Why Joseph doesn't know what he's talking about? Benjamin Tudela, a Jew who visited Baghdad in the 12th century. What did he say about the academy in Baghdad of the Jewish people? That it is the greatest academy of the Jews in the world. Benjamin Tudela, a Jew who visited Baghdad. So Joseph doesn't know what he's talking about.
Adnan, you can't just come in and say that. I'm going to respond to that. No, because what you're saying isn't correct. By the 12th century, the academies had moved to North Africa, and the greatest academies were in North Africa.
Still the Muslim land. So you're making a point.
That's fine, but you said I was wrong, and I'm just saying.
The greatest academies of the Jews were in the Muslim world. Sorry, guys, ladies and gentlemen, sorry. Okay, but I still stand by my point. The greatest academy
of that generation.
The greatest
of that generation
was in Baghdad. The second was in Spain.
The greatest academy. This is what Muslims often do. Muslims rewrite Jewish history. The greatest academies of the Jews.
Not in London,
were where we composed the Talmud.
Not in New York.
Is where we composed the Mishnah.
For over 1,000 years, the Jewish people, they flourished throughout the Muslim lands. Why don't we finish this? Go and read a Jewish historian on this. Don't listen to Adnan Rashid. Don't listen to Joseph the Zionist. Listen to Jacob Lasner. Jacob Lasner, a Jewish historian from the US. He has written a book titled, what was the title of the book? I gave it to you last time. I'm going to read the title so that people don't get the book wrong, because he has written. Wait, no.
There's another John.
Wait. The name of the book is Jews, Christians, and the Abode of Islam. The title of the book by Jacob Lasner is Jews, Christians and the Abode of Islam. Go and read this academic book by a qualified Jewish historian. He will tell you what the experience of the Jewish people with Islam was. Period. Full stop. Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.